Hi, Mark.
Tony,
Hi.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you, mate?
I'm livid. I'm so pissed off.
Why? Why are you pissed off? You've been here for about half an hour. I didn't realize you were pissed off the
Yeah,
whole time.
I decided to keep my powder dry. I decided to keep it for once
Yeah,
we started
you're
rolling.
you were oddly pleasant
Yeah, I know.
for the encounter.
I'm very annoyed, and
What
it's very
is-
petty.
Is it anything to do with me? If I
No, it's not
irritate-
you.
Thanks. Well, I'm just used to people being irritated at me.
Right,
So, like,
Well,
Yeah, no,
that'll come, because
that'll
I'm sure
come.
you're about to irritate a lot of people.
yeah, eat shit, everyone. But what?
Have you ever played the game Monopoly Deal?
I've played Monopoly. Is Monopoly Deal like a sort of a kid?
It's the card game. It's like
kid
much
ca-
simple. It's like a 15-minute card game. You kind of get properties, and there's money, and you can take properties
Please
off
tell
people.
me you lost your egg at your family and have damaged some
Yeah,
relationships.
pretty much. I didn't quite lose my rag, but
Yeah.
we've been playing it the last few days. The kids have learned how to play it. It's quite a fun game.
Yeah.
The kids have won a few games, which is good, because there's a bit of luck involved. But me and my wife win more because we're adults with higher functioning brain power at the moment than them, I guess.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
For now, anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, my wife won a couple of games tonight, and I was like, oh, okay, I need to up my game. One of them, she was a bit lucky. There's this one card which is, it's like the overpower. Anyway,
Yeah. All right. We're getting into the weeds here.
so we're playing, and she's leading again. Like clearly, she's leading, and it's an individual game.
Right.
But if one person wins, then everybody else loses. So basically, if someone's leading,
That's Monopoly, isn't it?
you got to take them down because
So you go after the leader.
basically.
Oh, and one
So
of the kids.
I started depleting her funds so that we could. The next person to get her is going to get some of her properties, so she's not going to be able to win the game.
Yeah,
and
but-
my son has a golden chance to just take her down, and he's like, "Dad, give me the money." I was like, "Why are you targeting me? I was furious. You little shit. What the fuck are you targeting me for? If she wins, you lose.
But this is the win. As somebody who is
Fuck that guy."
a shit stirrer, this is the win.
I didn't show him that side of me.
But he would have felt it. He would have felt the
yeah,
rage.
he felt it. He
behind
felt
and he
it.
would have done this. Oh, yeah.
He felt
I
it.
love it. Garrett, you've just gone up a few steps on my belt, mate. Well
he felt
done.
it, all right. Little prick. I'm gonna start doing that with his sister. I'm just gonna.
All right.
I'm just gonna no. I won't target you, Alice. Garrett, give me the money.
Oh my, you know what you've got? You've got a big brotherly relationship with your son. Like that's you. You should just be happy for your son to express himself in the way that he wants to express
That's
himself.
bullshit.
And he likes to express himself by shitting on you.
There you go.
And I am here for it.
Loves his mum.
Yeah, mums are great.
Thanks, Garrett. Little toe rag.
I hope he gets to watch it. He's not going to watch a whole lot of this podcast in
No,
his
he's
life.
not.
He might stumble on it over one day when you're dead.
Long after I'm
I've
dead,
thought that
yeah.
before. I'm like, maybe, loved ones of mine, like my daughter, will be like, I wonder what Dad was. Yeah. Well, I can watch him talk shit for a while.
She watches 5 minutes. First,
And
like,
she'll,
I've had enough of
she'll
this.
be like, and then she'll be like, yeah, that's the guy.
Actually-
I know, I live with him.
Actually, like ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, but if he stumbles over this period, know, Garrett, that Tony is proud of you, and your father thinks you're a twat, apparently.
Yep. That was very annoying.
Oh, wow, you really kept your powder dry because there was a lot of rage there.
I was thinking about the whole drive over here. You little shit. Like, I mean, I get a little bit competitive during those games. I want to win, but I'm not
Yeah.
unreasonably. Like, if one of he won the first game, and I was like, yeah, good on you, mate, because you've won for a while.
Well done, son.
Good strategy.
I don't quite understand how the game works. Like, Madison plays a Monopoly Kids one version, and everything's like $3. Like,
Yeah.
the most expensive thing's like $5 and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But she's good. She's good. And she's better at me, like memory games and stuff. The ones like you flip over
Yeah.
and all.
Yeah.
She's just like, boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, I'm sure there was some tomatoes around here somewhere. All the head knocks. All the head knocks and drugs catching up with me.
Yeah, that's it.
But look, I'm really pleased by that. That made me feel really good about it.
I'm glad. You got a bit of Schadenfreude thing going on.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Nice.
I didn't know. Look, what's this thing on the back of this beautiful Springbok jacket? So it's meant to be like a. What is it meant to be like a
Don't know.
zebra?
Just a bit of style.
They're known for their style, the South Africans.
Essex, maybe. They're
Yeah.
with Nike now, though. I need to update my gear.
What do you know about South Africa other than the rugby team? and it's in Africa.
They
Nelson Mandela.
They like biltong.
Charlize Theron's they love their meat.
They like brandy.
Yeah, Clippers and Coke. Charlize Theron.
Yep.
Famous South Africans. Go. Nelson Mandela.
Yeah. You mean non-rugby playing South Africans?
Yes.
Okay. I can do this.
I don't probably can't do many New Zealand.
The guy who directed District 9.
The movie set in South Africa about an alien invasion.
Yeah, that guy's South African. No, what's his name?
I don't know. Noah, what is it? Like a long last name?
I don't know. Elon Musk. He's got a South African connection.
Charlize Theron is the one that I offered up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's probably
I'm
more.
sure there's tons.
Yeah, there'll be lots.
Famous South African musician.
No.
Famous South African song?
Does that Rasi? Does that count?
This is ukulele Africa. Everyone loves it when I sing.
Ooh.
No, I won't do the whole thing. No, I can't.
Seems like it's they like a bit of wine as well.
I'm sure
they
there's
grow
tons.
some wine, and they're a farming country.
Like
many
their
parts
meat,
of it.
really
They
like
their
their
meat. Got some nice beaches. They got a lot of sharks.
Yeah, did you hear about shark attacks over there?
Yeah, there's the Cape. That's the people
Tabletop Mountain.
That's right. Is it Tabletop Mountain or is it just Table Mountain?
It could be Table Mountain.
The Cape. People used to go around the Cape. There used to be a big thing in navigation. To
Go
around the Cape.
Yeah.
That was a big thing.
The old Cape of...
Cape.
Don't say kidnappers. That's in New
Cape
Zealand.
Horn.
Cape Horn.
Is that it?
Horn. Maybe. There are South Africans watching this, screaming all the
all famous people,
there's probably
inventions, generals, pilots.
Let us know some stuff below about.
Give us some fact. Every time I mention a fact, because every time I do the monthly update, I'll be like, oh, here's where all the viewers are from, and I just mainly do it by country. But I'll have a look through the cities, and there'll be some interesting cities. Like there's a city called Pietermaritzburg, and I was like, that's a cool name. There's a city called Boksburg, and I was like, Boksburg, what a fucking name that is. And then whenever I mention those things, people will give me some facts about these places. Oh, I was founded by this guy.
Oh, wow.
That's quite cool. I always like that.
Power of the internet. Enlighten us, internet. Below. But I can't think of... Would they be able to think of a famous New Zealand?
Probably not.
Lord is massive.
Is she?
Giant.
She was very good on hot ones.
Oh, yeah, she was, actually.
She was you wouldn't even know she was eating hot food.
Yeah. So Taika Waititi.
He's a bit annoying.
I like him.
Okay. My dad would say he loves himself.
Yeah, your dad is a lovely bloke, but anyone who has any sort of spark of he's from that generation. If you put yourself out there too much, you're
crossing the line. I think I've got to put that in me as well.
Yeah, bring it back in, which is not a great. It's not my favorite New Zealand trait. I've got to be honest with you. I think we should celebrate ourselves and be expressive and not try and cut off the tall poppies.
Right.
Peter, Sir Edmund Hillary.
Yeah,
we're New Zealanders naming famous New Zealanders.
That's pretty easy.
That's pretty easy. Any South Africans in the NBA? Like Stephen Adams is in the NBA.
Not that I know of.
Yeah.
But the way we talk about Stephen Adams in New Zealand, you'd think he's the best player in the NBA. At least that's what they used to. When I used to watch the 6 o'clock news, it'd be like, they'd go with the rugby, and then they would talk about the NBA through the lens of Stephen Adams.
When he would be, because he was in some really significant final series and stuff when he was with OKC, and he was a big player. He got kicked in the nuts by Draymond Green in a massive game once.
Yeah.
Headline news.
Yeah.
New Zealander gets kicked in the nuts.
But it'd be like when there was a Canadian guy, Tyler Ardron, playing for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
It's like he wasn't the star player for the Chiefs. But if they were reporting rugby news in Canada, they would probably do it through the lens of what's Tyler Ardron up to?
Yeah, because
he's a very good player.
Perspective.
Yeah, exactly. But the way we talk about him, I think, is maybe a little bit overdone.
So you're doing it again. You're cutting down the old tall poppy again.
He's not.
I know, but you've got to get engaged.
He's not LeBron James.
Yeah, he's not. But nobody talks about him as LeBron James.
New Zealand media, you'd think he's the best player on the team.
No, they don't.
Yes,
they talk about him because he's the only thing that... It's not a massive sport in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And he's done very, very well.
For sure.
Incredibly
He's
well.
more money than all the All Blacks combined.
Yeah, he's done insanely well, and they go. And the way to engage like a
New Zealanders is to go
like
through
a
the New Zealand
68-year-old woman is go, oh, young Māori bloke from Rotorua comes good, plays in the NBA, and he's not shit. You know, and then, oh, that's nice.
It's just every week.
I've been to Rotorua.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a connection. No, they did that. I mean, when I lived in China, there was a guy named Yao Ming playing for the Rockets as well.
and that would be
like
good.
every time, I remember once I turned it on and I was watching some basketball, which I never do. I was watching the Rockets play and it was in Chinese commentary. And all I could hear was like Yao Ming, Yao Ming, Yao Ming. And I was like, where the fuck is Yao Ming? He's a giant. Why can't I see him? He wasn't even playing.
Oh, really?
He was injured.
I feel like you need to come across a little bit, my man.
So it's not a uniquely New Zealand thing. It's
yeah, it's just what people do. They want to talk about the thing that's
just keep it to the key events and stats, you motherfuckers. Stop trying to.
I feel like you swear way more than I do on this podcast.
Yeah,
like, because when you get onto mine, you're like, I can fucking let it go. I've been fucking
holding on to this for so long.
Sitting in front of a whiteboard just wanting to fucking swear.
Yeah, it probably helps the fact that my son betrayed me. It's got me riled up.
Yeah, it really got. Yeah, it's got your sauce flowing.
Yeah.
It's got you ticked in the right places.
Now, speaking of people getting riled up,
Oh yeah.
when we don't talk about the rugby, some people don't like that.
I-
Other people do like it.
Yeah.
But there's always someone who's gone, why don't you leave us some kind of indication of when you're actually going to talk about the
We do
rugby?
it
And
every
every fucking week we do.
Rugby starts, and sometimes they're quite long out there. Like when I get to see them, and I'm like, oh, 16 minutes in.
Yeah.
That's
Talking
all.
some shit.
That's all we are. Yeah, so there's an indication. The only people that I feel a little bit sorry for who want to get to the rugby content a little bit quicker are our dedicated listeners who listen audio only.
Yes.
Who listen to this podcast.
2 Cents Gets Distracted, a rugby podcast.
On iHeartRadio
Or Spotify.
or one of those other
Yep.
ones. iHeartRadio, Spotify,
Apple Podcasts.
Apple Podcasts, and then all the rest,
There you go.
basically. I feel for those people.
Yeah, because they can't see the flashing indication. But I think like most of the viewers are YouTube.
Just keep tapping that like 30,
I also
15 second or 30
That's
second
true.
ahead button.
I also put timestamps last time,
Yeah.
so there was literally a.
I'm a little bit lazier than you.
Yeah.
By the time I get it uploaded after editing it, I'm like, it's up there, you know. Although I probably will do it with test matches a lot of the time. But sometimes it's a little bit irritating in Super Rugby rounds to go,
Yeah, there's 8 different games.
All right, but there was some rugby in the weekend.
Yes.
Are we ready to talk about it?
Well, the breakdown didn't want to talk about it.
They finally got my feedback.
Yeah, stop talking about.
Stop
South
talking
Africa.
about South Africa.
It's a New
would
Zealand
you?
show.
Yeah, just fucking look.
I watched it yesterday.
It was a troll.
I watched it yesterday,
Yeah,
and
you
I
told me
was
about
getting
it.
my team of the week ready. So I've got like the breakdown on in the background. I'm listening to it, and I'm getting all my stats and shit ready.
Just getting your hot takes from Jeff.
Yeah, I'm just copying word for word what friggin' Jeff is saying. But no, and I was like, and then they ended it, and I was like, oh shit, I missed the part where they talked about the Boks in Argentina game.
Yeah.
So I went back and rewound it, and then it wasn't there. And I went to the YouTube version because I was watching it on Sky.
Yeah.
And then there's all these comments going, "Are you just not?"
I didn't. The only bit I watched of the breakdown this week was just a Razor interview.
Oh yeah, that was quite good.
Yeah, a bit softball, but
She asked him a couple ones, and he was like, "Oh,
oh,
well, what are you asking me these hard questions for?"
it was like it wasn't that hard. It was like, how do you feel about foreign
Overseas
players?
players, yeah.
But it was, and his response is, "Have an open mind." Is let them play, you bastards.
basically, yep.
Yeah. But yeah, then I only noticed it on other people's videos. It was like, good on you, Mark. This breakdown didn't even talk about it. It was like so many comments just bitching about the breakdown. But I think that the breakdown is a New Zealand show made for New Zealanders. It's very, very, not even a secondary function, the fact it's uploaded onto YouTube. It's made for Sky Television, that network, for baby boomers who still have Sky in New Zealand.
Yep.
Who sit down on a Sunday night and don't really watch a lot of YouTube and turn it on and listen
Yep.
to the guys go on about their shit. And they go,
That's the target audience for that show.
And that audience isn't really that interested in anything else other than New Zealand
rugby,
focus
yeah.
because it's a New Zealand show.
Yeah.
But I do think the fact that they didn't even mention
It's bizarre. When
I
we're
think
playing
it-
in the competition and the trophy's been lifted, you would think, like, "Oh, what do you think about the
I-
Boks getting
I
the
get-
trophy?"
I-
Oh, well, it was to be
I
expected.
get the feeling because they have a very, very New Zealand perspective,
Yep.
and it riles up so many South Africans.
They are very aware of that as
And
well,
they are
because
aware of
they
it.
often mention it like they break the fourth wall. Like, we know all our South African viewers,
yeah,
la la la.
yeah, and they cop so much shit, and they're like, "What can we do? What would be the ultimate troll?" It's not mention it at all.
Do you think that's what it was?
I can't think of anything else.
That's bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah, so in honor of what they're doing and in solidarity of our fellow New Zealanders, this is just a troll what he's wearing. We're not going to mention. No, I'm kidding. We will talk about it.
Did you watch it live, or you watched it on demand? Were you spoiled to it?
I wasn't spoiled to it, but after about 5 scrums, I felt
You
like
figured this is the way this is going to go.
I was like,
It was 48-7.
Yeah,
It wasn't really in doubt.
not at all. It was quite a performance, really. I think that performance and the first game of the tournament were their strongest performances. I think they bookended it with a style of rugby which is terrifying for the rest of the world, which is not shying away from that power game, that set piece domination.
Their DNA.
The DNA that they have. And
icing on the top. With like
bit of run. So once it's like tenderizing a piece of meat and then just flailing it about a little bit. Just there was like a wild boar just taking it into the deep waters and So because I was like at the beginning, I was like, why? Okay, they got a penalty here. They've gone for a corner to the kick, which is usually like a try screen move. We're going to maul it over. And I was like, are they going for a scrum so they can get another penalty?
Yeah.
So they can get another penalty. But it totally took the souls of South Africa. Oh, no, of Argentina.
Yeah.
I'm proud of myself. I said Argentina, right?
There you go. Someone did say that the Afrikaans pronunciation of Argentina is kind of like what you say. So maybe you're actually like a part. So you're leaning into your inner South Africa.
Yeah, but I was
Afrikaner.
But I was thinking, oh, here we go. But so many scrums. This is great. Well, fantastic. But they were just so dominant. Oxenshade, for me, is the player of the year right now.
I know.
Like
Props never get a nomination, but he's got to be up there. In
if
the
he doesn't get a nomination,
then no prop ever will.
No prop ever will.
Because Tyke Furlong never got a nomination a few years, like 2018, when he was like bossing it for Ireland. Like he was kind of towards that unplayable level.
Probably would.
He never got nominated. The year Sexton won it. So if Ox doesn't get a nomination this year,
just
he won't.
purely on his impacts on the game.
Yeah.
Like and how much he clicks it. Even he's not kicking goals, he's not scoring tries.
Yep.
But he's taking the scoreboard over for them.
sure.
Like he's getting them into the right positions, and he is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Who was it? Garjo who was up against him this week?
Sclavi, I think. Garjo's the loose head.
Yeah, right. It was an absolute demolition.
Yeah.
And having those up the front, all those scrums back to back to back. That was the winning of the game. And then from there, I honestly thought like the Argentinians played with intent, with intensity. I thought they turned up. You wouldn't think that looking at the scoreboard.
No, that's right.
But they were there to try to do everything they possibly could to win, everything they could to try and win the game.
Yeah.
But just that psychological damage of the scrum, and then matching that with ferocious contact in the tackle, both on offense and defense, and then with the sprinkling of like wide play, a little razzle. It's a terrifying proposal to put to any team, I think. I think it's great work from Russie to actually add that wrinkle. I'm sorry I'm ranting and not letting you say a word here, but I've heard a few South African podcasts going, because they've played kind of average in quite a few games.
Yeah, when they beat us, you looked at them and go, they could have scored more points.
And that's
so
what
they mucked us up. They mucked that up.
We got them on a half-baked day.
Yeah, well, we could have beaten them, but because they hadn't, they'd let some things slide. Things had been a little bit like 80%ish or something, not gone to top gear.
Yeah,
and they still beat us.
And we played well for like 80% of the game until the
last 20.
Yeah, until the last 20. So that's why those games particularly stung for us. But I've heard a lot of South Africans, like the guys who I watch is a bit of a rage watch. The way that South Africa
rugby mad guys. Did they mention the All Blacks game?
I haven't watched it yet, but the way the South Africans watch the breakdown, that's how I watch South Africa Rugby Magazine podcast.
I need to watch that. I've never watched
one guy, is it Cowles, or one guy's called Keo, one guy's called Cowles. The younger of the two is like, he's always like,
that'll be Cowles.
This is not the way we play and not going on. He has a Mexican character, which is great. I appreciate this but I sit there going, that's wrong, like raging out. But he's really he calls it Tony Ball. Yeah, like the running rugby that
Oh,
they gave.
not
like,
you, like Tony Brown. I was like, holy shit. He's been
I
watching
know,
our
he's watching our
podcast.
podcast.
Tony loves the league.
Because
It's Tony Ball. Why did I think that? How important do I think
What
you
is
are?
that joke? Okay.
This is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
but I have the input. I know. Oh, sorry. So yeah, because of Tony Ball from Tony Brown, not Tony O'Sullivan.
Your importance.
Yeah. He's like, well, he's mentioning you. Wow, that's weird. It's impacting the South African style of play. Oh, don't. Rusty's like, Tony doesn't like scrums, guys.
We need to make this scrum more entertaining. The Ox, what can you do for us?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but he's like really anti Tony Ball, where the other guy's a little bit more like, we're adding wrinkles. He's like, no, we just got to revert to our DNA, our style, our type. If we play this proper way, they call everybody Oaks. These Oaks can beat any team by 30 points and all this sort of stuff. But I think, Rusty is, as much as I hate to admit it, a bit of a genius. That if they are able to, even from this point, like, they're not going to be great out of the packet straight away and in every game, but if they're able to get to their performances to a more consistent level where Ireland kind of are in terms of the way that Ireland don't have too many really bad games, they're bad and they're good. Their best game and their bad game, the worst game aren't that far apart.
Right.
If South Africa are able to operate in that sort of zone, that little zone of proximal difference, it's gonna they'll be a terrifying team to play if they can really build on that.
Especially seeing as they've gone 5-1, whilst still they haven't played like their strongest team every week. Like Andy Farrell in the Six Nations, pretty much barring the Italy game, always plays the strongest team.
Yeah.
He doesn't muck around with like, oh, this week we'll try this guy, next week we'll try that guy. Whereas Rusty's been like, no, this week we're going to change 10 guys. I mean, they lost. They paid the price for that over in Argentina. Where they changed 10 guys, but they almost won it. They very much could have won that one.
You can't do that as an All Black coach because we're a public that, even though we've lost 3 games, we have a history where it's like you just can't lose. And we don't have the depth of the squad to be able to go.
At the moment,
You know what? We're going to start... we're going to start Proctor and David Harvey.
We did it against Fiji, but that's...
Proctor, David Harvey, Sevu Rees, Mark Talea. I'd like to see Mark Talea, who would, gets Papali and what's the guy called?
Jacobson.
We could have, it's hard. It's not a bad sounding team, but that would be, he does that.
Yeah.
Every other week. We haven't done that once. We've tried.
We did it against Fiji, and that was it. Like, Proctor's only played 1 game.
Yeah, he played.
And he's been like reluctant to play some of the other guys from the bench.
It was almost, he was very reluctant to play this gem we've uncovered, Satiti, as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Which we'll get into. But
man,
what a performance, eh?
Peter Steph Tutoy?
Stupid.
I know.
Just stupid.
How did he control that ball with his fingertips over the freaking top of there? That's unbelievable.
All right, a sneaky bit of disconnection there at some point.
Surely not.
Well, it looked pretty. There was no frame to conclude that it didn't, but it kind of wobbled. It wobbled, and it was on the tips of his fingers.
I still think they still had a finger on it.
They awarded
what
it.
What about Colby's step? Boom!
It's an ankle breaker.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah,
that's bullshit. That should be banned. Ban that shit.
I love a brilliant little man.
I know.
He'd kill it in league, man. They love a brilliant little guy. Brilliant little guys are really popular in NRL. Yeah,
He's got a real hot step, man. That was
hot stepper.
Quite unbelievable. Fussy at fullback, scored a couple of tries.
Yeah.
He set up the Colby one as well. Nice looping long ball.
I like watching Mane Lebok play as well.
Yeah, he played real confidently.
Yeah, and
for a guy who's got the pressure of like the nation on his shoulders and a lot of people calling for him never to represent the Springboks again. He was just kind of like, fuck you, let me play the game. And he was like doing little kicks off the side of his boot and stuff.
I love he's got that, it's Carlos-esque, Spencer-esque, by the way, with that sort of, very Carlos Spencer, the whole not looking, but like flick it out on the boot. That's circa 2003.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Bit of Tony Ball. It's really fun to watch, and because they've got these supremely talented athletes, and then Dale Indy and stuff, and the
he had a monster performance. as well.
It's just a giant.
Jesse Creel, Eben Elizabeth broke the record for Springbok caps.
Well done, and you know what's really nice, where like we talked about Oxenchae, right? And we talked about Peter Steff, but we're talking about a lot of backs.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of Springbok backs because they've got these freak athletes.
Yep.
And like just giving them a bit of, you know, I don't know. They say it's in their DNA to be these big combative forwards, and yeah, it certainly is. But you've also got these incredibly athletic, skillful backs. They're
unleashing.
You've got all your Afrikaans DNA in there. That is that big beefy stuff. But boy, oh boy, there are a few. I don't know about you, but there are a few pretty talented African athletes throughout the world, and giving that spice into the team, and that athletic flavor and that dominance and that skill level. It's a terrifying proposition. I think the DNA is more than just meat-eating bashers.
Right.
And that's
got more layers to it.
And that's going to be a terrifying, a scary prospect. I think that's a scary prospect for a lot of South African fans. They're like, "Oh, you're not playing the way that we always wanted
Used
to play."
Right.
But as somebody who doesn't want them to win, I don't want them to play that way. As somebody who wants to watch entertaining rugby, I do want them to play that way.
I mean, I guess ideally they can do both. If they need to revert to type in a close game, if it's in the wet and it's a knockout game, they can do it. Whereas if it's dry conditions and they've got like Mani Libbok starting, why not unleash them, right?
And it's kind of what they did against the All Blacks in that first game. Like they tucked the ball under the shirt and was like, "Hey, look, this is not the day. We haven't got that. We haven't got that clicking today." But they were able to revert back to a style of play that's won 2 World Cups in a row.
What about Argentina? They're inconsistent.
As I said before, I thought they really turned up. I know the scoreline doesn't really look like
How
that.
much is it is down to the fact that they had 3 cards and they conceded at least, I think, 4 of their tries when they had at least 13 or 14 guys on the field.
And it looked like a schoolboy scrum playing.
Oh, yeah.
Like a man scrum.
Yeah.
Like it's that sort of disparity. And it's almost like a cheat code, that the Springboks
just like free penalty.
It's just like,
almost,
there's a scrum. Yeah, there's a scrum. Like even when they were like something, there was a player went down. I don't know if it was a South African. It might have been South African. I can't remember the player who it was. And they're like, boom, it was in the way. They stopped it, and I was like, oh, that sucks for Argentina.
Yeah.
So they got to restart with a scrum that they're probably going to lose a penalty.
Yeah.
Like
anytime they would kick a high ball as well. It's like if they're kicking a high ball for Fussy, if he catches it, that's a win.
Yeah.
If either of them knock it on and there's no advantage played, that's a win. The only time they don't win is if the Argentinian guy catches it. Even if he catches it, if they monster him at the breakdown and get a turnover, that's a win. So there's
get a penalty holding
basically on. 3 of the 4 options is pretty, it's a high percentage play.
Yeah.
To go for those high balls. And Mani Libbok's got a big old boot on him. He can get some real hang time on it. Yeah. Fussy's a pretty good dude in the air.
Terrifying prospect at the moment.
Yeah. Matera got red carded.
Yeah, deservedly, I think.
Yeah, there was no...
That was
I don't
dumb.
think there was any real doubts about that one.
He had eyes on it for a while and he came in. Yeah, that was sad to see.
Bit of handbags at the end. Argentinians maybe feeling a bit frustrated, do you think? Or
I think just big testosterone players being dicks, basically, at the end, probably. Like...
I mean, I was getting angry at my son for playing fucking Monopoly Deal with me. So imagine that times it by 1,000 for rugby players.
Like they held them up and then they were gobbing them off.
Yeah,
it was.
How do you like that? How do you like them apples?
Yeah, I think a few players pointing at the scoreboard and stuff. Which Oh, did you hear the passage from Sexton's book?
No.
Oh, we'll get into that later.
I'll write a note. 6. There we go.
We have to fuck.
We've got 6 on the books. 48-7, deserved champions, best team of the competition, pretty clearly.
Can I do something I don't?
They didn't get the grand slam though of like an unbeaten run.
Yeah, and look, they didn't get the big breakdown pop. Getting a great little.
And can I put this out there?
Yep.
Maybe a controversial take.
I love it
because some people make the comparison with the 2015 era All Blacks team. Not there yet.
Not there.
No. Not there yet.
Not all encompassing, not all dominant, not, not.
Could get there. They could get there for sure. And at World Cups, absolutely.
You look, there was this interesting thing on Reddit where they showed like winning streaks and stuff of World Cup winning teams.
Right.
And like I think the streak that the All Blacks go on after winning the World Cup is like 12 games in a row.
Right.
And it's just like.
Whereas the Boks lost to Ireland.
Yeah, and then they lost to Argentina.
Right.
So, very good. Like, they're great. They're the best team.
Yeah. I just think talk about comparing to the 2015. I just think it's a different era, different players. You cannot compare. Blah blah. They might get to be a team that goes to be genuinely all conquering, goes through test years where they just don't lose any games, but not quite there yet.
And I don't know. I also
still the best team in the Southern Hemisphere by a mile at the moment.
I think it's a game of entertainment as well, and but if they add that wrinkle to their game and they get those style points as well, and that's gonna make historians and pundits and all that sort of look back on them far more fondly. But they're adding that wrinkle.
Exactly.
Like Tony Brown was an odd choice.
That's
and
right.
It was a bit of a scary choice, and we were like, because he was like the mad scientist attacking coach of Jamie Joseph's little stooge.
Yeah.
And sorry, Tony Brown.
Yeah.
But he he's added some really, really interesting stuff.
I mean, over the next couple of years,
they could do it.
We could get to the point where you see them like going, they're going to play Libbok against this team because he's the guy who beats that team. Or they're going to play Pollard against this team. You know what I mean?
We haven't mentioned our sponsor.
We will.
Okay, we'll do it at half.
Do it at half time. We're pretty much there now because that's 48-7. They win the Tri-Nations. I'm an old man. They win the Rugby Championship. They got the Freedom Cup. They've still got the World Cup.
Freedom!
They've got whatever one they play against the Aussies for. I'm sure there's one. They've got a lot of cups.
Don't have the Bledisloe.
That's true. They don't have the Bledisloe.
Suck it.
Before we talk about Bledisloe too, well, congratulations to South Africa, by the way, for the Rugby Championship.
I'm going to give you a begrudging
victoire.
I don't want to give you this clap, but you deserve it. South Africa.
Yep, best team of the competition. Like, it's not even like some years it goes down to bonus points,
whatever.
Playing
Ireland again at the end of the year?
Sadly, no.
Oh, that's a shame.
We are.
Yes, we are.
We're drinking a beer called Red Dog.
She's got a little punch to it as well.
It's 5.7%.
Do you want me to give you a little ASMR?
Go on.
You crack that one, and then I'll give ASMR on the side.
Okay.
Oh, here it comes. Ooh. Ooh. Sorry.
Now, for any of you guys who were like, "Hey, I was actually trying not to drink alcohol," you can do it. Don't drink alcohol.
Don't drink alcohol. We do get some messages going, "I'm an alcoholic," and when you guys crack beers,
it really makes me want to drink a beer. Don't do it.
Don't
do it because of us.
Go have a non-alcoholic beer.
I don't smoke anymore. I sometimes get the cravings. I really wanted to fucking smoke after my son betrayed me.
Yeah.
But I didn't smoke.
When was the last time you had a durry?
It's been a wee while.
Oh, yeah. If I had a durry right now, and I just...
Let's put the podcast on pause. We'll step outside. Beer and a durry.
Yeah, beer and a... I used to smoke cigarettes too, but I don't get the cravings at all.
Really?
Not at all.
I only get them occasionally.
I smoke when I'm in Malaysia still.
Though. Oh, there you go.
I go back and everyone's smoking, and I'm like, it's so hot.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife's uncles will just be like, come on, Mark, have a smoke. And I'll look at my wife and be like, I'll get the smoke. And she's like, okay, just the one.
Yeah.
She doesn't like me smoking.
They often don't.
It's a very cultural thing in China.
Look at this ottoman. That's a child pen mark, isn't it? Yeah. Why do we have these?
Why are we drinking this beer called Red Dog?
Red Dog.
It's red miso and rice red IPA from the Garage Project in Aro Street, Wellington. 5.7%.
We had these beers bought for us by our fantastic sponsor.
We did. Oh, Brad.
Brad boy.
Brad likes a dog, hence Red Dog.
The name of the company is Four Paws. Four Paws Run.
4 Paws. They're number 4.
4pawsrun.com. Was it 4paws.com?
I know they have a Facebook page and they have an Instagram.
And boy, it's more than just a walk. It's an experience.
This is true.
It's a boot camp.
Boot camp for the doggies.
He gets out there and he whips them. No, he doesn't do that. But they go out to the forest. They have a great time.
Yeah.
It's based in Whangarei.
Based in Whangarei, which is the north of where we are here in Auckland.
There might be 2 people.
If that's you.
If there are 4,000 people watch this, say.
Okay.
2 people might be watching this that have a dog in Whangarei.
There you go.
Maybe there's more.
And if you
have a dog in Whangarei, comment below.
That's true. Let us know what kind of breed of dog you've got.
Yeah. Is it a Shipman?
Is that a dog?
It's a breed mix, but we went through this last week.
I would doubt you, but I was proven wrong last time.
I made it's a make-believe
It's like a Doberman and a Shih Tzu.
Yeah, I said this last week.
Oh my god, my memory is terrible.
Yeah.
Genuinely terrible.
I'm not editing that in.
Okay. Well, I admit that I believe you.
I've had to edit things in the recent weeks where he's like, we never talked about that.
And then it was proven that I
Yeah.
did talk about it. It was me as well, not him. Yeah. Let us know what dog you've got.
Yeah.
If you're in Whangarei or anywhere near Whangarei and you're thinking you're heading to Whangarei.
Or you're coming to New Zealand, you got a lot of money and you bring your dog.
Yeah, and you want to have someone walk your dog for you, go on an adventure, or even a bit of doggy boarding services.
Yeah, if your dog's looking at you and you're buggered from the end of the day and he's like, I need to go for a walk.
And you're like, fuck this.
Oh, why did I get a dog?
I wish some handsome cut
Whangarei man.
could just do it for me.
Northlander.
And they could do it for you.
Northlander who supports the Taniwha, who gave me shit about North Harbour, who fucking smoked Canterbury this week.
There you go.
65-19. Suck it! Sorry.
That's Canterbury.
Yeah, suck it, Canterbury. It wasn't Northland. But wow, what a man. What a time to be alive. We have a sponsor.
Thank you, Brad. This is the 4th week of
Yes.
Brad's sponsorship.
We appreciate
We
it.
appreciate it a lot.
Mm.
If you guys want to check out Brad's dog walking service,
It's fourpaws.com.
Tony will probably
Or it might be
forget to put links down in the description.
It might be fourpawsrun.com.
If you definitely, I found
If he's
it by
commented,
Googling
hopefully
Four
he's
Paws.
commented on this video.
You'll pin the
I'll
comment.
pin the comment. Yeah. Say something fun, Brad.
We appreciate you, Brad. Thank you for
You're
sponsoring
a
us.
bloody legend. Really,
You're a
really
legend.
appreciate it. Yeah, so please, before you even like this podcast or subscribe to either of our run-of-the-mill rugby channels, go like and follow his Instagram and Facebook for an incredible dog walker.
Hell of a dog walker.
Hell of a dog.
I don't know.
man.
They did dog. When I thought dog walker, I just thought like you just take them on the street, but it's none of that
No,
bullshit.
he gets in there and just gets rough and ready.
There you go.
If you want someone to get rough and ready with your dog,
With your shipman.
with your bitch, Brad's the man.
Cheers, Brad.
Shot cows.
Any other sponsors that want to get in touch, just
Let us
this
know.
is the kind of service you can get. All it
Yeah.
takes is a few beers.
Yeah, exactly.
So
That's it. It's not a particularly pricey proposition.
I like to think we're affordable.
Yeah, maybe a little too cheap.
Decent value for money, though. I think.
Absolutely.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I think we did like 7 minutes on. We did a script last week.
I know. Goodness me.
Yeah. What a time. What a time to be alive. But next week we're probably gonna have to go back to buying our own booze.
This is probably true.
It's okay. It's okay. Don't feel for us. Mark,
There was another game on.
what's it?
New Zealand,
Versus.
Australia.
Ooh.
From Wellington, the Hoodoo.
I enjoyed this game thoroughly.
Yes. I like the fact that the Aussies actually gave us a bit of a bloody nose early, and it
Yeah.
was like, oh shit,
They've turned
Wellington.
up.
Wellington again.
Because I kind of expected us to, I don't know why. Yeah, because it was like, I was on my boys chat and I just
I thought we were going to pump them. I put money on us to pump them.
Yeah.
A whole $10. I was like, $10, we're going to pump them.
I like 5 minutes and on my boys group, I just wrote fucking Wellington.
Yeah.
You know, because it felt like, and we're very anxious now, I think. Because one of the things I really liked about this game was throughout the rest of the rugby championship, every time we've faced adversity, but most of the time the adversity's been in the last 60 minutes, we've folded.
We've crumbled, eh?
Yeah, we haven't faced any adversity and come over it.
Yep.
And in this game, we faced early adversity. They turned up. They came in with a lot of intensity. They had a really, really sharp Joe Schmidt game plan
Yep.
that was keeping us down our end and keeping us uncomfortable and broke our line and got points.
That's right.
So it was a little bit nervy. We're like, oh God, because we haven't seen this crop of players with this coach get over a hurdle like that.
That's
So
right.
They did.
They did. Yeah, they were really under the pump.
Yeah.
They really came out of the blocks not firing. The Wallabies
Yeah.
were all over us.
Yeah.
So that was very disconcerting. But like you say, they actually managed to front up. Caleb Clark did all right. I mean, I got a yellow card, but
He's so
he's
good.
such a
this
freight
year.
train at the moment.
He's playing like 2020 Caleb Clark, and
He loves playing Australia, eh? He does well against Australia.
I think he's done well all rugby championship.
He's looked the best left winger.
And to be fair, I think he's done so well because I think coming into this, he played really, really well throughout the Super Rugby season. But I think coming into this recent All Black campaign, he was probably fourth cab off the rank in terms of.
There were definitely people saying like, "Why is Caleb Clark in the squad?"
There was, I reckon Razor would have had
Where's
Sevu
Narawa?
and Narawa, or
Maybe not Narawa, but
maybe
definitely
Sevu,
Will
Jordan, and
Maybe Bodie in his back three. I don't know.
Not Bodie, freaking Black Mamba. Talia.
Oh, Talia, yeah. Well,
Yes.
yeah, his pecking order spot is kind of dropped.
Which I think is unfair because he hasn't done anything wrong. Really.
Clark's been good, though.
But Clark's he's been, be so good they can't ignore you. He's been that sort of good. Just big in the contact, big under the high ball.
Yeah.
Like incisive lines. Yeah. Really, really robust in the contact. Like just, you don't want to, imagine trying to grab onto one of those limbs when they're
People keep
pumping like
saying he needs to
pistons.
play 12.
Well,
I think because he's a big dude. And people are like, hey, Ma'anonu was a big dude.
Ma'anonu,
And Tanu Umaga was a pretty big dude. So Caleb Clark's a big dude. I think he could play 12. I don't think that's quite how it works. Midfield's a little bit more complicated than that. I don't think Caleb Clark's ever played 12.
And both of those players, so especially Ma'anonu. Ma'anonu got so much shit from the New Zealand public about his defense when he first went to the midfield.
Yeah. Very similar to what's happened to Rico.
Yeah.
But then he got really good.
Yeah, exactly.
Rico's
They stuck with him.
Been like
Rico's still
solid.
Solid. Very solid. But
it's weird that he's kind of become a more defensively solid 13 than like this out and out attacking 13. He just often carries it up the guts.
Yeah. But yeah, we bounced back. Lovely tries. What was the first try? To Caleb? Reese. Oh, that's right. And then it was Jordan. They're both nice little taste.
ALB played pretty well at 12.
Yeah, I like the look of him.
Good
at 12.
balance of some nice defense and some good pass. Set up a couple of tries.
And I think it was nice having him there because Geordie's obviously the front line number 12, but he is. Some games he's played poorly.
I think ALB played better than Geordie's played in any of his games, but it's one game.
Yeah, you had that weird voice thing there for a second.
Oh my god, a little bit.
A little bubble there.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if you'd noticed that.
I did notice.
You noticed that?
It's ALB's been playing pretty well.
But yeah, Geordie's had some stinkers this year as well. So
Yeah.
coming on and playing well. I don't know if Geordie has really appreciated the vice captainship that he's been awarded somehow.
He's going to Leinster anyway
Yeah.
soon.
Is that after
this?
So he'll probably go to the North and just stay North?
I think so, yeah. He won't just go and come back to New Zealand for the Super Rugby season.
It's a bit of a hit to the Canes.
Yeah.
Because I think he played pretty well for the Canes this year, didn't he?
Yeah, he was all right.
Yeah.
Tamati Williams got a try.
The bench came on and played well.
He gave the bench a bit more time. I mean, he was able to because the scoreline was looking all right. But Patrick Tuipulotu came on pretty early. Tamati Williams came on pretty early. Even Tossi came on and looked really good.
He got 2 really big turnovers. I was really happy for him because he seems like a top quality bloke.
Yeah.
And just to put in some good work with that All Black jersey on, I thought that was really nice to see. Really, really good. Australia, mate.
McCright still looks all right, although he missed the tackle on Will Jordan.
Yeah, but that was, I think most players in the world missed that tackle.
Yeah, and he couldn't stop Tamati Williams from like a metre up from the goal line.
And there's an 80 kilo difference. But yeah.
But he scored a try. He scored their only try of the game. He burrowed over, beat the Groot to the line.
Is the problem with the Australians... The problem with the South Africans is they just eat too much meat. No, the problem with the Australians...
Send some of that biltong to Australia.
That they just don't have the quality of player. Like, Noho Lolasia is not in the world-class international 10.
Yeah, he's not.
Hunter Paisami is very good. Donaldson is very good.
Ikitau's pretty good.
McBride is world-class.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of world-class players, but they've got a lot of good players. But when you come up against world-class players, then you're in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, but if you've got a lot of very good players and then some okay players, those okay players are going to fucking stand out like a honeymoon.
That's right.
Like it's...
The thing is, I think Joe Schmidt's the kind of coach that can take a team which is not as talented individually and teamwork-wise get them playing beyond what their kind of on-paper skill level should be, but they're just not there yet.
So what does that mean with the current skill level? Let's say he's bumping up their overall stats by 10 points. Does that mean they're that low? Because I thought that part of what made them so good is they came out with intensity and they came out to, really, really dig in.
Yeah.
And they came up with a hell of a game plan.
Yeah.
Especially early on. But they just didn't have the fitness and capability
to keep it up for the 80.
keep it up for freaking 20 minutes, really.
Yeah.
Were they winning at halftime? Were they just ahead at halftime?
Was it 13. No, did we score? Right.
It would have been 13-12. I think they might have got a penalty.
Yeah, it was pretty tight at half time. But they didn't score in the second half.
And we scored after 60 minutes, man.
We did. One try. I don't believe it. We finally did it. Finally did it. Oh,
Yeah.
my God. It's 7 points.
Yeah, we'll take it.
I think we had one chalked off, right? Tupo Vai got one chalked off.
We
It
were
was like, oh, no.
that was our one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a collective, like,
Sigh of relief.
/Bronx cheer from the entirety of the nation. Where we scored after
finally
6.
managed to get one.
You know, and that's the thing, like you know how this week they Bledisloe Cup game week in New Zealand on Sky Sport, they play a lot of retro 2000 games, and I was watching one from 2009 and they were playing against players like Rocky Elsom, Ghetto, Larkham, like Swoop, whatever it is, and really world class players. These guys are great. And it was a tight tussle. It really was. And it came down to the last 10 minutes. But the All Blacks, like, they mucked up a little bit here and there, but they just kept on throwing bullets.
Right.
Just kept on coming at them. So I was like, shit, that's what we used to do. We used to just throw so much at you the whole game and not let you freaking take a moment off.
Eventually you couldn't deal with it.
Yeah. And we had this ability to be like, the game is here. It's so intense, but we could just go elevate the game. Where right now we've been going...
Yeah, deflating.
Yeah, but it was nice to see that we were able to keep up with a little bit more intensity. I thought the DMAC came on and played pretty well.
Yeah.
Like coming on, playing against, him with fresh legs, sprightly as all hell, playing against slightly slower legs.
Looks a better prospect though.
Yeah, I like him on the bench. I do like him on the bench. Like...
What do you think about it? Because I've seen both ends of the spectrum where some people are like, well, he was dog shit. And other people are like...
I wasn't expecting you to say
other people.
That's all I did.
It's 4 paws. But other people were like, "Oh, how good is it to see a guy unlock the back line?"
Yeah, I thought he was okay. He didn't stand out to me as amazing or poor. So
Somewhere in the middle.
fine. Like
That's not a controversial enough opinion.
And look, and there's a number 10 that doesn't kick the ball very often in South Africa. You can do it. He missed one kick at goal, didn't he? But yeah, that was nice to see that he. I like him at 10. I do like him at 10.
What do you think of Kane?
Oh yeah, I was about to say that. Sam Kane, eh?
100th game. Do you think he goes? Okay. Do you think he goes?
Shove you.
Do you think he goes in November? It's indestructible. That's the Timu pin.
Damn it! Didn't give me the snapping moment.
It's too cheap to snap.
It bent.
You're
You're gonna still use it, you cheap bastard.
Of course I am.
It wouldn't snap. Okay, so it was
Okay,
really
100th
nice.
game.
Came out with a smile on his face.
Yeah.
That was reminding me of the women's game. They came out smiling.
I don't know if he played that well.
He missed a tackle, but okay, let's not give him shit.
Okay.
Like, let's not shit on someone on their birthday, man.
Yeah,
Jesus. But I don't like your dress. But no, what an effort. What a man. To come back from a broken neck, come back from career-wise what is equal to a broken neck, a red card and a World Cup final, to get those few more caps.
Do you think he should call it quits here, or does he go in November? Like, it'd be nice to go out on a high, whereas you going to Ireland and France, you got a pretty good chance you're going to go out on a low.
Or is he going to get selected?
Yeah, but I mean, do you just pull yourself out of the selection race if you're him and just go like, that's it? I'm done. Go out
I kind of would like
at
to see
home.
him. TJ's been on the record to be like, oh man, any chance I can get to play for the All Blacks, I'm going to do it. But I wouldn't be surprised if there was a situation where Razor was like, you're awesome, you're amazing, but because this game kind of almost looked like it was just on the bounce down on the way in, but on those last 2 games where he's just like, we're not going to select you, but please take this opportunity to bow out,
right?
And
do it on your terms, kind of thing.
Yeah, 100%.
That's what I'm wondering.
Hopefully he gets that, or they might just take him and he can have. Well, we can win games over there. In Europe.
We could well do, but if you retire now, it's guaranteed that you win out on a high.
But rugby nothing's guaranteed in rugby, and he's a rugby player. Like it wasn't guaranteed we were going to win the last 2 Test matches, and we won. So it's his decision. Really, we'll see what happens. It's the last we'll see of TJ Perenara on these shores. How would you summarise his career?
He's been a good player.
Lippy.
Yeah, very lippy for sure.
Yeah.
Bad haircut at the moment, but
You don't like the... It's like, mate, you've grown out of the mullet. Come on.
yeah, what can I say?
Yeah.
But no, he's been a good player. He's been a good servant for New Zealand rugby. I wouldn't have thought he was going to get back into New Zealand rugby, to be honest, because he went abroad and he got a huge injury. He was out for like a year.
Yeah, giant.
So the fact that he got back was pretty encouraging. I don't know if Roygaard hadn't got injured this season.
He wouldn't have got
I
game
don't know
time.
that he would have got the game time to get himself back into the All Blacks.
He was playing second fiddle to Roy
Yeah,
Guard,
for sure.
And I don't think he would have got in. And Roy Guard left and he was like, ooh. And then he played pretty well.
He played really well at the Canes. So, yeah.
Really, look, Roy Guard is just coming back up to fitness now. So, yeah, if they have Roy Guard take him on the end of year tour.
Yeah, if you got
Maybe.
Roygaard and Ratsima, I don't know that you need TJ.
It's interesting, they're not taking... Usually the All Blacks are often travelling with three...
Or do you take
three
Hotham
halfbacks.
as the young guy, or do you take bring back Finlay Christie? I don't know.
I think they might take TJ if they take three, just to be like, follow me, lads. This is how you handle things on tour. These are the sort of things you got to...
He leads the haka well.
Sure does. Does a hell of a haka. Nice to see a guard of honour for Sam Cane there. Don't often do those sorts of things in
That's
New Zealand,
true.
which was really nice. But no, very nice. It was an enjoyable game. Like,
Both the games were blowouts, though.
yes, not so great for the neutral, but I think it was enjoyable for us because it was like tense at the start, and then we got to see the All Blacks do something they haven't done
That's right.
all year, which is overcome any sort of adversity, in the game. Yeah. Would be a very different conversation we'd be having if they shat the bed. Wellington!
Yeah, exactly.
This podcast would probably get 6 times more views.
That's true.
Yeah, oh well. For those of you that are here,
We appreciate you.
yeah, thank you. Sticking it out. Slumming it with Tony and Mark.
You watch any other rugby on the weekend?
I watched the highlights of North Harbour smoking Canterbury. That's a lovely one. 65-19. Fihaki. Explain this to me. Why is he getting called up to the All Blacks?
Because he's a Crusaders guy.
What the fuck, man? Shooter Stevenson made him look like a freaking pedestrian like 16 times during that game.
Yeah.
Like,
Razor does have a
this
very
is
big
bullshit.
thing about
That
the
is
guys.
just bullshit.
It's a bit of an old boys club, isn't it? With him
Well,
at the moment,
like,
the
yeah.
Crusaders club.
Like the
No
amount of,
Satutu.
yeah, it is just rank average bullshit.
Plumber drops below Havili.
Yeah, yeah. It's if you're, Harvey gets in there over Proctor. I thought Harvey came in and ran hard.
He had one bad pass, but he did have a couple of good carries. It's true.
But it was, very, very, Fihaki, it's like not playing well at NPC level, has shown us pretty much zero at Super Rugby level. Looks like a good athlete. Not an All Black.
Still a young guy. Yeah.
Not an All Black. Whereas freaking Shooter Stevenson's been ripping it up for years.
And he is an All Black.
Yeah, he played one test for all. Like he's never had any favourable selections whatsoever. He's got nothing given to him.
He's had to
And they still-
fight tooth and nail. He's got one token cap.
It's absolute bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Yeah. I think that's pretty shit. I do question some of Razor's selections. Like, I know. Basically, he had that call between. We didn't talk about him. Satiti.
Oh yeah.
Jeez. Satiti was. He's a gem. He's an absolute.
Do you think we need to move him to 8 if Sam Cane retires, then put Artie at 7 and then put Blackadder at 6, or put Blackadder at 7 and muck around with the...
I'll give you this.
Okay.
Frizzell comes back.
Okay.
Frizzell at 6. Satiti at 8.
Artie at 7.
Artie at 7.
That's a good back row.
Jeez. That's the brown wiggle coming at you. That's... It's Robert Rakiti, by the way.
Okay.
Robert Rakiti was the brown wiggle.
He's a radio host on the hits, or...
Yeah, we gave him but that's a brown wave just too hard to handle. I'm so here for it. That would be great. That'd be a great little 3-pack. No, I didn't say. Notice how I didn't say threesome. I contained myself.
You wanted to tell me something about some sex.
Oh, so
Sexton.
so
Is
there
it
was,
about the Ioane thing?
Yes.
I only saw a headline. I didn't read it.
so it was so much for the no dickheads policy. So after so Sexton's released a book recently. Pardon me. He's released a book and he recounts his experience of the 2023 quarterfinal that he lost.
Yep.
He says he can't watch it. He replays so many games in his mind. He actually replays in the book he says so and so takes it to the line. Retallick takes him, and Whitelock clearly doesn't show any release. It's a penalty all day long, but it goes the other way. Like he puts in a bitch, which is wrong because there's yeah. So he has a whinge there, and then so immediately he's lost credibility with me, and he's a lippy bugger.
He's the kind of guy who's never ever going to be calling it anything but totally one-eyed.
100%.
He's very fiery. Like even when he got suspended once for yelling at a referee in a game that he didn't even play in.
Yeah.
He came onto the field and called the ref a disgrace.
Yeah, that was the Champions Cup final.
Yeah, Champions Cup final. He wasn't playing. He was injured. But he
Yeah.
comes on and calls the referee a disgrace.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of guy he is.
Yeah. So then he, very completely innocently after that, just walking on his own. I'm sure he hasn't saying to anything to anybody or has never said anything to anyone previous in the game that was uncalled for or in New Zealand when he was rubbing it in. But Rieko Ioane comes across and says, "Enjoy your retirement, you C-bomb."
Right.
Which is a pretty low thing to say to someone who's just retiring. But like, I have no idea what Sexton's been saying to him throughout the course of their experiences. Maybe it's the one chance he gets to with the Retallick one, which he goes on the record. You heard the Retallick one?
Yep. He
Yeah,
said 4 more years.
You fuckwit.
Yeah.
And then,
And he reported on James Marshall's podcast. He was like, I said what was reported.
Yeah. But yeah, so he puts that in there and then he was like, well.
That was Tuamani who had told Kane that he was shit Richie McCaw. So there's been back and forth. It's
Yeah.
easy to give people shit when you're the one winning.
Yeah. So he said, enjoy your retirement.
Boom, demonetized. This is your channel.
God. He says, enjoy your retirement, C-bomb. And then he goes back at him saying you're he mouths off at him. You see at the end of the game saying you're a low character piece of shit, yada yada. He's like, I realized that was it was a bad look, but the emotions got the best of me. And then he says, but so much for the New Zealand no dickheads policy. You're like, okay.
Didn't I talk about this last week?
What?
No dickheads policy doesn't mean you can't be a mouthy prick.
Yeah.
No dickheads policy means you need to be a team player, show up on time, pass the ball instead of being selfish, that kind of shit. You can be a right prick.
But Dan Coles, for God's sake.
Exactly.
He's a great player, by the way.
Yeah, people take the no dickheads thing out of context.
You got a little bug flying around you.
Okay.
Anyway, so that was what was... I probably murdered the telling of that.
That's a bit of drama.
A little bit of drama. Did I watch any other rugby? Oh, drama. Not that I can remember, to be honest. Tell me about the Urk.
Okay. Your team,
Munster. Yeah.
went away to the Italian side, Zebre.
Okay, can I try and pick winners and
Yeah.
and
I've only got 3 results written down.
so
I
I'll
didn't
try
write
and
them
pick
all
winners
down.
and
Margins.
margins.
So Munster went away to Zebre, the Italian
Okay.
side.
Munster won by 35 points.
Munster scored 33 points.
Oh, yeah.
Zebre scored 42.
What?
Yeah, Zebre are usually shit.
What?
Munster had a big lead and then they lost.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
good one,
very,
Munster.
very, very
Made me
weird.
look like a fool. I had a 35-point win.
Yeah.
Damn it. Okay.
Glasgow, the reigning
I
champions.
felt really confident about my prediction.
Yeah, I
dude.
know. I would have as well.
Yeah.
Because Munster should be beaten Zebre.
Yeah.
They lost. Glasgow hosted Benetton, the other Italian side. It's the reigning champions.
Sorry, Glasgow won by 22.
They won 42-10.
Oh, because then I was like, they would have won them, but I'm going to bring it back a little bit.
Yeah.
Munster, you screwed me.
And then the other one,
Yeah.
Cardiff, were away to the other Welsh side, the Scarlets. Scarlets scored 15 points within the first 10 minutes.
And they lost.
They lost. Yeah. They didn't. That's all the points they scored. They
So,
scored literally 15 points.
27-15.
24-15. Very close. Cardiff who have not in the last couple of years been the great side, they are on maximum points from 2 rounds. They've got 2 bonus point wins. So
Get in there, the Blues.
they're not called the Blues anymore.
Oh, get in there, Cardiff City. Cardiff? Are they called Cardiff City?
Yeah,
or
just Cardiff Rugby.
Get in there, Cardiff Rugby.
So there
Really
you go.
good stuff. Really good stuff.
Oh, and the women's rugby, we lost to Ireland.
Yeah.
Ireland was paying $21.
That's a bad loss, guys.
Yeah.
Get it sorted.
We're supposed to be beating Ireland. I didn't watch that one, sadly. That one wasn't really promoted much here.
No.
Like when we were going to play England in that warm-up game,
That was a bit promoted.
it was promoted.
Oh, yeah. Did you watch it?
They didn't even mention on the breakdown either.
Jet House boys and girls.
Yeah.
I'm dying for a piss.
Okay.
I really am.
This red dog goes through you.
Yeah, it really goes through you. The red
All right.
dog.
Well, cheers to Brad.
Cheers to Brad. Thank you, Brad.
Any future sponsors, just get in touch. Send me an email.
We really thought it was going to be an avalanche of sponsors from this point, but your phone's gone quiet.
Maybe there's just no signal info.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, good on you, Mark.
Cheers, champ.
Thank you for watching.
Take care, folks.
Adida.